What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. I just wanted to take a second and vent about the current state of the NBA. And you know what? This is me just bitching. I'm gonna say venting. This is me just bitching, thinking about it. I was just sitting back. I was just thinking about it. And I was just like, these players today. My God, these players today, man. And nothing happened that I read recently with a player, but I was just thinking about the state of the NBA and these players, man. They are so pampered in today's NBA. These players are pampered beyond reasoning, and they are still spoiled, lazy, complaining, whining bitches. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. And unfair to the ones that aren't, the league, the players get painted in this picture. I hear and I see what players are saying. We need more rest. We need more time off in between games. The All-Star break needs to be longer. There should be more rest in between when the season ends and when the playoff starts. Make the season shorter. Too many games. The season is too long. This, that, and the third. Don't want to play back-to-backs. The idea of having a back-to-back shouldn't even be a thing. Let's travel. All this shit. Complaining, bitching, and moaning while these guys have the best medicine, the most modern equipment, the most modern medicine, nutritionists, perfect diets, the most modern gym equipment, the most modern facilities, the most modern treatment, rehabilitation, service professionals that are unique to individual players and teams, improved travel, far improved travel, private jets with state-of-the-art guts inside those planes and service, security on another level. These guys have everything. And Commissioner Adam Silver continues to bend at the will of these players and feeding them, spoon feeding them all the things they ask for, all the things they want. And they still complain as if their quality of life, their work environment is so atrocious and so unbearable, while getting paid absurd amount of money with guaranteed contracts, an amount of money that players in the past, great players in the past, never got. Even when you adjust the numbers for inflation, the players of the past still did not get as much money as these players are getting today. On top of that, the players of the past were actually playing in worse conditions. These guys don't even play half the time and still getting the money and still complaining. Does anybody not see what's wrong with this picture? Somebody really needs to put the foot down on these players. And I see what the league is doing. If you haven't seen, there's been rule changes that are coming out as part of the new collective bargaining agreement that will be starting next season, or some rules starting as early as next season, to try to get these players to take the regular season more seriously with the in-game or the mid-season tournament that's incorporating actual games in the season. They've implemented this to try to get people to take these games more seriously. And then they put the new rule where you have to play at least 62 games. I think it's 62. Don't quote me on that. It's either 62 or 64, but at least 62 games to be able to qualify for any type of award, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. That also extends out to the All-NBA selections to try to keep people from load managing. And while I don't have a problem with these rules, I do acknowledge that there are some loopholes in them. But maybe it's a step in the right direction. But there's definitely some loopholes I see in those that I'm not going to get into. So I commend the commissioner and the committees for trying to do something about this. But largely they have been a promoter or accelerant of the whiny needs that these players feel like they need. That's why I will always, forever show so much more respect to the players of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even the early to mid 2000s, 2010s, early 2000s, maybe up until 2010 or just before 2010. I will have a lot of respect for those players, especially ones that transitioned from the 90s into the 2000s. That group and the players before them, these guys loved the game. They loved to play basketball. They worked for their money. They believed that they had to go out and work, perform. Can somebody please remind me? These are players in a league that's called the NBA, right? National Basketball Association, which means that these people, these workers, these athletes are professional basketball players, right? That is their occupation. That is their job. That seems to be their career. And they're getting paid to do so. And then you got a large group of these guys that don't even want to go to work. But that is your job, right? You were hired. You were signed. You have a contractual agreement. And you don't want to work. You see the problem with that? And I don't want to hear the nonsense about you can't relate, you can't relate, you can't compare. I don't give a fuck about that. It's a job, man. I'm a contractor. My job is based around a contract. But I go to goddamn work and I ain't going to tell my boss that I ain't showing up because I want to load manage. Or I ain't showing up because I feel like there's something that's keeping me from actually performing and doing my job when there really isn't. There's a lot of that going around in today's NBA. A whole lot of it. If I have a legitimate medical problem or concern or some type of family emergency or life emergency, understandable. I can't make it to work. But there's no other reason for me not to go to work, put on my work boots, and get the job done and work for my money. You kidding me? And now it's gotten to the point where there is so much understanding and so much support and help being offered for people that are having issues with their mental health and depression, as there should be. I understand that that's a legitimate concern and that's a real thing. But now you have players in the NBA that are citing mental health issues and depression so regularly now that they're doing it just to escape the pressure. And for whatever reason, they don't want to play for an organization or a franchise or a game. They will cite that because they know that they're not going to get any kickback. Once you mention depression or mental health, nobody's going to question it. They're going to give you your space because they're afraid of the backlash that could come if you try to dispute somebody's mental health problems. That shit I don't like. Mental health, depression is a serious thing. Please, don't make that shit up. Don't use that as an excuse because it can help you get away with something that you want to get away with. Preserve those resources that are being used for people that actually have these issues, for the people that need them. Don't make shit up because you don't want to play a basketball game or you got a problem with somebody in the organization. Don't do that. Don't do that. That ain't right. That ain't right. Half these players, they don't love the game. Like I said earlier, they don't love the game. They love the money. They want the money. They want the fame. They want the groupies. They want the love. They want the adoration that comes with being an NBA celebrity, an NBA player. They want all that. But they don't love the game. They ain't really trying to work for their money. And they all want a guaranteed contract. They all want those little stipulations in the contract that get you those bonuses. But a lot of them ain't trying to work for it. Hell no. Half the time, these players ain't in the gym working on their craft, getting them shots up, working on their defense, watching film, watching tape, planning for their next matchup or next opponent. No. They want to spend more time on TikTok, watching people do TikTok dances, TikToking themselves, going on Instagram Live, showing off their money and they shorties and they groupies at the club, on the yacht, all over social media, trying to get their face plastered everywhere. Look how many shawties got one shawty on this arm, one shawty on that arm. Look at me, baby. Which, I don't care what you do in your free time as long as you go out there and perform and play. But that's the problem. A lot of these guys ain't going out there performing and playing, and I see what they doing in their free time. I will always have more respect for the players of the past. Like I said, man, these guys used to take beatings, physical, brutal beatings. Didn't have all the modernized stuff that the players have today, especially the medical resources and medical methods. Back then, man, you bust your nose, you break your neck, you break your back, go in the locker room, drink a beer, come back out and play. That was the remedy. That was the remedy. Put a Band-Aid on it, down this bottle, get back out on the court, go win that game. Go hustle. They love the game. They love the game. Especially the greats. Most of them. They love the game. They wanted to go out and compete. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't all about the money. Obviously, I understand it's a business and you should try to get what you think you're worth. But these guys actually went out there and worked for what they got. We hear the term put on your hard hat and your work boots, go to work. If I were to look at the players of the past, if I look at their work boots and their hard hat, them work boots is dirty, grimy, filthy, wear, tear, hard hat, cracked, broken, scratched. Compared to these guys' work boots and hard hats. I look at these guys' work boots, most of the players these days look like they just walked out of Foot Locker with them work boots. Did y'all even put those work boots on yet? Them joints shiny. Their hard hat just came home from the Amazon delivery box. Don't even look like they've been worn. Come on, man. I don't know whatever happened with the whole Ben Simmons situation when he started citing mental health and all that stuff and all the drama involving his time with the Philadelphia 76ers before he got traded. But I know he was trying to loop the organization for as much money as they can when they tried to cut off his paycheck. And I don't know what happened with all that. Did he end up getting paid, or did he end up getting paid partially for him not playing and sitting out? I don't know what happened with all that, but I sure as hell hope he did not get the full money that was agreed upon contractually. I really don't. I really don't. Because what that dude was doing was obnoxious. Super obnoxious. And anybody else that did that, super obnoxious. Y'all better be struggling like the rest of us out here. If you ain't trying to go to work, I know if me or you, anybody out here watching, just wasn't going to work, we ain't getting paid like that. They gonna tell us take some type of PTO, paid time off, some type of special leave requests that may or may not get you money, some of your money, all of your money, who knows, depending on your company. But we ain't getting paid like that. Ben Simmons, boy, you should be showing up during that time when you wasn't playing. And I was on Grubhub ordering my food. I totally expected you to show up with your Grubhub hat with my food order. Because you was trying to make $1 somewhere because the NBA wasn't giving you your money because you wasn't working for it. I was surprised when I was on Uber Eats and Grubhub and Ben Simmons didn't show up to my door with my bacon. With my double bacon cheeseburger from Five Guys. Damn. I would have got your autograph, Ben. I would have got your autograph on my Five Guys wrapper just to ball it up and throw it at your face until you get off my property. I can't, man. I can't with these players today, man. Kudos to the ones of the past. And the crazy thing is that the players today are sitting on the shoulders of the players before them that have paved the way and laid out the groundwork so these players can do what they do, so that they can make the money they can make right now. And they're supposed to do the same for the players that come after them. But you got to set the precedents. You have to. These guys worked. And I don't feel like they're doing that now. And they may think they're paving the way by, okay, we've started player empowerment and we're making it easier for guys. You know, we're fighting for more time off, this and that. No, you're whining, you're bitching, and you're not doing your job the way you're supposed to do your job. Creating a league that's going to display more pampering and bending over to the will of these players that don't want to put in the work themselves isn't necessarily putting the league in a better place for the future. While it may seem like that for you guys because you're reaping all the benefits and having more time off from work, what kind of example are you making for people that look up to you guys as role models and trying to be all you can be as a player, as a person, to try to improve and be a leader? What kind of example are you setting then? And then for consumers, us, the people. You know, we look forward to watching our favorite players and our favorite teams play. But we're not even sure if we're going to see the whole team sometimes. We're not sure if we're going to see our favorite players sometimes. Because he don't want to play back-to-back. Because he has an upset tummy. Because he pulled his fingernail. Because he woke up with a headache. Because he bit his tongue. We don't know if we're going to see our player. And then for the people that work, unlike a lot of these NBA players, work for their money and getting paid nearly as much and got to buy these expensive ass tickets for these expensive ass seats to go to games only to find out that your player is a last minute scratch, the star player. And he ain't even hurt. He ain't even hurt like that. He ain't even injured like that. But he ain't showing up. And you just paid a couple $100 for a seat and you ain't even about to see your favorite player. You ain't about to see your favorite player, bro. You came to see LeBron James and you gonna get Austin Reeves. You came to see Kawhi Leonard, but you gonna see Robert Covington. I'm done ranting. I'm done bitching. This has gone on way too long. My rant has gone on way too long. The state of the NBA has gone on way too long too. Y'all let me know what you think about it. Am I being unfair? Am I being unreasonable here? Can I not talk about this because I technically can't walk in the shoes of an NBA player or understand their lifestyle, what they're going through until I've actually lived it? Am I not considering that? Or am I being fair? You let me know, man. You let me know, because I love the NBA. I do. I do. I do. Even though I have a lot of problems with the current state, I still love this game, baby. I do. But damn, this is a love-hate relationship. I feel like I love you, and then you keep domestic abusing me, slapping me in the face, and I keep coming back to you because I love you. Because I love you. And I got a lot of subscribers here that they tell me all the time in the comment section, I don't even watch the NBA anymore. I can't. It ain't the same. So they took the abuse and they said, I ain't going back to it. I'm the silly person. I keep going back to the abuser. I keep going back to the abuser. I'm the silly person. It's me. Apparently it's me. It's me. It's me. I just realized it now. It's me. I have to seek help so that I keep myself away from these situations and protect myself. Sheesh. All right. I'm going to go now. Maybe play some video games or something. Y'all take care. Y'all be blessed. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. We out, baby.